your ground and bother.
Well, that was absolutely cut.
Champions League fatal finale. It is the quarter-final stage of the UEFA Champions League, and it's time to find out who the English teams, as well as FCB of course, who will be facing who in the quarter-finals of this season's UEFA Champions League. My name's Darryl Johnson, great to have your company on this Friday morning. Welcome to the stream, drop us a like on the stream as well. Looking forward to this. Of course, this is the final draw of the tournament. We have the quarter-final draw, and then we find out who's going to be paired up with who in the semi-finals as well, and then which team's likely to host the finals. So yes, a lot to look forward to between now and 11:30, because 11:30 is when the draw will be finishing, and then we'll be having about a half an hour break, and we'll be back on camera again for the UEFA Europa League draw and then the Conference League draw from 1 o'clock. So a long stream. So strap yourselves in. This should be interesting. The road to Wembley starts here again. And this is the quarter-final stage. Got some really good teams now. Only the best teams now are in this quarter-final draw. FC Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal scraped through against was it FC Porto? They scraped through in the end. Also Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid scraped on penalties as well. And of course, the current holders of the UEFA Champions League, which are Manchester City, all featuring in the quarter-final. Now, this is a free draw. It's a free draw. There's no regulations. There is no regulations, unlike the round of 16, where you can't play someone from the same nation or from the same group. In this one, you could have Bayern Dortmund, Real Madrid, Barca, Arsenal, City. Literally anyone can get anyone. There is no rules with regards to who can't play against who. So Arsenal, they're just going through the teams here. If you want to watch it live, it's on TNT. Arsenal scraped through on penalties thanks to David Raya saving 2 penalties actually, out of I think the 5 that FC Porto did. Atletico Madrid, they scraped through on penalties as well. Missed penalties from Inter Milan, Diego Simeone managing to scrape through again on penalties. FC Barcelona though, it was pretty straightforward in the end for them. They played really well in that second leg, I must say. They did play really well in the second leg. FC Bayern were losing 1-0 against Lazio from the first leg. In the second leg, 2 goals from Harry Kane, the goal from Thomas Muller sent FCB through to the quarterfinals. They're joined by former finalists back in 2013 and also German giants Borussia Dortmund, who managed to get through against PSV Eindhoven in the last round. Manchester City, the current holders of the UEFA Champions League after winning it last season, they're into the quarterfinals yet again. PSG into the quarterfinals yet again, of course. Kylian Mbappe with some brilliant goals, and that finished off the game. Real Madrid, the record holders in this competition, and through to the quarterfinals after knocking out RB Leipzig with some really well taken goals, I've got to say there. So 8 teams remain. The road to London is still on. Wembley awaits the finalists in June. So let's see what happens today then. Welcome to those in the stream, by the way. 2 people joined very, very early, and then obviously Scotty B popped in just before I was coming on. Typical Dazzer, this is, yeah. Hopefully Arsenal go out in the quarters from Harry Doherty. Welcome to the stream, Harry. You're late. You just got up lazy. You're lazy. Mate, I've been up since bloody 9:45, sorting the stream out. Up your nose from JOJC. I can't work out what that is on the photo, but thanks very much for joining. Sam McNeil as well, cheers for joining us. FCB so funny to watch. They whoop the Bundesliga every season. Whoop. I hope you don't mean something else there. You mean they win the Bundesliga every season, fail to win the Champions League. This season, Champions League is the only thing Bayern can win. Bayern can only win the Champions League. The league title is going to Bayer Leverkusen, which, in fairness, I can't really complain too much. They've been magnificent all season, so they fully deserve it. I've been up since 8:30. Congratulations. Anyway, so draw's going to get underway very, very shortly, so drop us a like on stream. And we're going to look forward to, hopefully, an entertaining draw. I assume it'll be someone from England who's doing the draw, or is the ambassador for the final, because it is taking place at Wembley Stadium, the final this year. We've got 3 Spanish clubs, 2 German clubs, 2 English clubs, and PSG. Okay, it's not. The man who's actually doing the ambassador actually for the final, and who's most likely going to be doing the draw, is a man who has made 70 Champions League or UEFA club competition appearances for Chelsea. He also had a spell at Middlesbrough back in the day, back in 2019. He won the Champions League with Chelsea back in 2012 at the home of Bayern. And that was one of the greatest nights in the greatest night, I think, in Chelsea's history. He also won the Uefa Europa League the next season after beating Benfica in the final as well. The man doing the draw is John Obi Mikel, who had a spell at Middlesbrough back in 2019. Both fans will remember him. So John Obi Mikel, a Champions League winner, and a well-known face when it comes to Chelsea, and of course a Nigerian international, is doing the draw today alongside Goggles, as I like to call him, or as I like to call him, the guy who looks like Sven-Goran Eriksson. Let me know who you think the likes of the English teams, etc., will get. Personally, I reckon we'll have a Klassiker Bayern v Dortmund, and I reckon we'll have Real Madrid PSG. And I reckon City will get Barcelona. I reckon City get Barcelona, and Arsenal get Real Madrid. Arsenal get Atletico Madrid, a big man. I've done that right. Arsenal, Atletico, Man City, Barca, Real Madrid, PSG, and then Bayern Dortmund. Would be interesting to see the Klassiker in the Champions League quarterfinals. Be very entertaining, wouldn't it? So, we are going to get ready to get the draw underway. Quick reminder, of course, if you have just tuned in, what's coming up. After this draw is the semi-final draw, so we find out which teams are going to be hosted, which team or teams will be hosting the semi-finals. So who's going to be paired against each other in the semis, and then which team's going to be the host team in the final. It might get a bit confusing, this, but I'll keep you up to date as much as I can. From half 11, the draw obviously finishes at just before half 11. So once this draw's finished, we'll have a quick talk about it. You can get involved in the live chat, of course, as well. And what we'll do is after that, we'll go for a break. Back on the camera at 12 o'clock for the UEFA Europa League draw. Once that draw's done, have a talk about that as well. Be interesting to see who Liverpool get in that draw as well. And then it'll be on to the UEFA Europa Conference League. I forgot to mention West Ham are in the Europa League draw as well. So once that's done, again, have a talk about that. We'll recap the Champions League draw for anyone who missed it, of course. And then what we'll do is we'll go for another break. And then at 1 o'clock we'll have the UEFA Conference League draw. Once that's done, we'll talk about that draw, recap the Champions League and the Europa League draw, and then we'll be finished at probably around 1:45 today. So that's the schedule for this stream, and that's what's coming up. Let me know in the chat who you want the likes of Arsenal, Man City to get. 'Cause obviously Arsenal, Man City, the only 2 English sides left in this tournament, playing in the quarterfinal. Manchester City, obviously. Qualifying for the quarterfinals, smashing Copenhagen, well and truly. Where's the breakfast? Oh, I don't really have breakfast really. All I'm having is I'm having some Dairy Dunkers and some chicken satay skewers, and that literally is about it for the moment. Just having I don't really do breakfast. I just have a little snack, and then obviously later on after the stream later on, then I'll go and try and sort out some dinner after the stream. But yeah, I know Scott is going to say, because you don't have breakfast, you don't get up till midday. Time for the quarter-final draw, ladies and gentlemen. We're off. So, John Obi Mikel doing the draw, a Chelsea Champions League winner and Europa League winner, a Chelsea legend, and also, of course, a man who has done really well with Nigeria, of course. So enough for your breakfast. I don't have breakfast though, mate, that's why. I don't have breakfast. So, on the moment, there's just one or two snacks are during the stream. Just having some snacks during the stream, and then later on in the day, I'll try and sort out a bit of dinner. I think I'm going to be having tortellini probably for me dinner as usual again. Not as usual, but again. First team out with the pot is Arsenal, by the way. So Arsenal, the first team out, qualifying for the quarterfinals on penalties against FC Porto. Very unlucky they were, but two really good saves from David Wyatt, by the way, in that shootout. That send them through. Who will Mikel Arteta's side be facing in the draw then? So it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal versus FC Bayern München. Now, you know what's funny is Bayern always seem to get Arsenal. Bayern tend to win 5-1. Be a different story, I reckon, in this tournament because Arsenal are some side at the moment. Difficult team to beat, especially at the Emirates Stadium. So Bayern away at the Emirates first and then at home at the Allianz Arena. I mean, I'd rather it be away than home anyway. So that's a good tie. Really good tie on paper. That's going to be a cracking match. And the next team out is a Club Atletico de Madrid, which is, of course, Atletico Madrid. Is Daddy's now? No, Dad's downstairs watching the TV. So, ready, set, pack, mass for Arsenal. That's what FCB have put on the Twitter. I was going to say, by the way, that they asked Thomas Tuchel what his thoughts were on the draw, and I'll go through that in a bit. So Club Atletico de Madrid were the next team out of the pot, so they'll be at home for the first leg and then away for the second leg. So you went to bed early while I wake up at 10. No, I didn't go to bed early. I went to bed at 1 o'clock. I was busy scheduling the bloody stream last night. Atletico Madrid get Borussia Dortmund. Oh, you know, I'm gonna say this now. I don't think there's gonna be one tie that isn't good in this draw, because Atletico Madrid Dortmund is a hard one to call actually, because they're both really good sides. And Bayern against Arsenal, you'd fancy Bayern to do it, but Arsenal are getting better. But Arsenal are playing really well at the minute. Real Madrid then, the next team out, the record holders, into yet another quarter final. Yeah, I don't know. I normally sleep at midnight, but sometimes I'll go. Sometimes it's just whenever I'm ready to go to bed. Really. So Real Madrid next team out. Go on, give him Barca. Oh, didn't they play them last season? I can't remember if they played them last season or not. No, they played them last season, and I think they knocked Real Madrid out. I think we got a repeat of last season's Champions League semi-final, I believe. Real Madrid are playing Manchester City. Now, Manchester City knocked out Real Madrid. I think last season it was, or maybe the season before, but they have knocked Real Madrid out. But hopefully it'll be roles reversed. Hopefully Real Madrid do knock them out. Real Madrid, Man City, and that means. Which means we've got a really good tie. We've got a repeat of the 2017 tie, which ended 6-5 on aggregate. We've got a repeat of Paris Saint-Germain versus Barcelona. Bloody hell. Two of Lionel Messi's former sides going head to head. Now that will be, tell you what, you know, I mean, it's very difficult to say who's actually going to win them ties, because All 8 teams are in, have every right to be in the quarter-final. They're all really good sides. It's going to be a really good and entertaining and very difficult quarter-final. But I've got to say, it really is a good draw. My door's not open, it's shut actually. I'd have heard it open otherwise. So, that's the quarter-final draw done. And we have Paris Saint-Germain taking on Barcelona. That was the final one. We'll go through, obviously, we'll go through the full draw, recap the full draw after. But we're on to the semi-final bit now. This is where we have the pairings. So obviously, Bayern against Arsenal is going to be was obviously tie number 1. So the first team out actually of the semi-final pot. Quarter-final 2. Now that is Atletico Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund. So whoever wins that tie over the 2 legs will be the host team in semi-final number 1. So Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund, whoever wins that will host the first leg of the semi-finals. Their opponents are quarter-final, move your finger, quarter-final 4. Oh my God. I can't believe that. Right. Oh no, do you know what that means? So Atletico Madrid or Dortmund will be playing PSG or Barca. And you know what that means? It's bad news for Bayern, because Bayern always do crap against these sides. It means if Bayern beat Arsenal, they get the team that they never beat, but either get Manchester City or the team they never beat, Real Madrid. If they're playing against Real Madrid, then see you next season, because they never beat Real Madrid. And Bayern are going to be the host team as well. Oh, no. Needed the away tie first. Arsenal or Bayern play Real Madrid or Man City. I will say, even if Bayern get to the semi-finals, I don't see them getting to the final, even if it is Man City. Because Man City knocked them out last season as well, you remember. So, yeah. Tell us what's on the wall. They've been there for ages, them. And this is just a final to sort of decide who. No, I didn't want to delete that one. It was that one because people might think he's being wooed there, so just being precautious there. I don't have 2 clocks. What are you on about here? I assume you're on about clocks and not something else there, by the way, because... That's not a clock. That's a doorbell. It's a doorbell, man. No, it's not a clock. That's a clock. That's a doorbell. I thought you were on about clocks, because people might think you were on about something else there for a minute. So if Bayern do win, get to the final, they'll be the away side at Wembley. They were the away side at Wembley last time they won it. So, last time they won it, when they won it in 2013, I beg your pardon. Box, welcome. So, that's the UEFA Champions League draw in full then, and yeah, I think it's fair to say the Bayern ain't gonna get very far. The draw's done, so let's have a quick recap. Let's have a talk about it then. Arsenal versus FC Bayern München, that is quarter-final number 1. Quarter-final 2 is Club Atletico de Madrid taking on Borussia Dortmund. Real Madrid are taking on Manchester City in quarter-final 3. And then quarter-final 4 sees Paris Saint-Germain taking on FC Barcelona. Now, 4 ties, really good ties by the way, very difficult to call though. I think my money would be on, potentially, because obviously the semi-finals. My money is on FC Bayern taking on probably Real Madrid, which would be the worst thing possible for Bayern, because Bayern never beat Real Madrid. And I do also reckon that I reckon that Dortmund might knock out Atletico Madrid, you know, because Dortmund have the second leg at home. So I reckon Dortmund might knock out Real Madrid, and they'll play against Paris Saint-Germain. Dortmund, Paris, and then Bayern, Real Madrid. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's Real Madrid versus Paris Saint-Germain final. But I tell you what, the quarterfinals are very difficult to call one. What do you all... Oh, excuse me. What do you all reckon in the live chat then? Who do you think's going to qualify for the semis, and then who do you think's going to go to the final and probably win it all? I think me money is on Real Madrid doing it again for the 16th, 17th time. I want Arsenal, City, Barca and Dortmund out. Yes. I don't know whether... I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know whether that's going to happen though. There was FC Manchester U and Mask, but no clocks. I have got a United alarm clock. If that helps. Why have I got a 32-second advert? I don't want that. Mask. I don't even think Mask do clocks. But we're making a late playoff push to knock Norwich out. I don't see us doing it, because we've got Ipswich, Leeds. Ipswich, Hull, Leeds, or something like that, back to back. Rarely have any buying things. I've got buying notebooks and stuff. But the problem with buying is they charge about 10 quid for delivery because it comes from Munich. Okay, so the semi-finals then. Atletico Madrid or Dortmund, whoever wins that, will be host to Paris or Barcelona, and then Arsenal, if they lose, Arsenal or Bayern, Bayern beat Arsenal, they'll take on City or Real Madrid. Now, bad news for Bayern, they lost to City last season in the quarters, and Real Madrid never lose to Bayern, so it doesn't bode well. But Bayern, if they do get to the final, will be the away side. We could have a Dortmund-Bayern final again. That would be brilliant. And Bayern would win it. They don't normally lose finals. Are we hearing this Ipswich to get automatic promotion? Next joke. 3 wins in a row. See Carrick beaten Leeds to give Ipswich automatic promotion. I don't know. Do you want to admit? Still got an itching nose. It's difficult to say in a minute, because obviously you've got 3 really good sides going for automatic promotion. Leicester are starting to fall off a cliff a little bit. Ipswich dropping points here and there, still managing the game as well. Leeds, I think, are the team that if anyone's going to win a league, it'll probably be them. They've only lost 5 out of the last 57 league games. Ipswich have done well this season. It's pretty surprising. So that concludes the draw for the 2024 Champions League, and it's going to be interesting to see. Be very interesting to see what happens in them games, because I will say they look really good. They do look like really good and very exciting quarter-final ties. We'll see what happens. However, I'm being honest, I reckon Bayern can beat Arsenal. I do think Arsenal away. I mean, obviously, the good thing with Bayern is Bayern have got the second leg at home. So if Arsenal don't do very well at home, they won't get very far with the Allianz. Bayern are very good at home, so it's a good job that we actually got the home tie last. Win at the Emirates Stadium, and then you can say bye to Arsenal, because I don't see them winning at the Allianz at the minute. I don't know if anyone's going to win at the Allianz. Bayern in the Champions League don't lose at home. And, you know, the thing with Bayern's, you know, sometimes the Bayern atmosphere does help as well. And the Allianz Arena is a bit of a fortress for them. So, and Arsenal in the recent games, Arsenal in the recent games against Bayern lost 5-1. I think 3 games on the bounce against them. So, long may that continue. We'll see how it goes. So I'm looking forward to these 4 ties. PSG Barca were beat at the 2017 6-5. If it's anything like that again, then we're in for an absolute belter. PSG got the home tie first, which, funny enough, is what happened last time when they lost 6-5 on aggregate. They had the home tie, won 4-0, then lost 6-1 in the last minute. Sergio Roberto with the goal to send Barcelona through. So, yeah, 100 days out of here. And then Real Madrid, Man City, I'm pretty sure they played last season as well in the semis. And what was the other tie? Atletico Madrid, Dortmund. They've met before on I think quite a few occasions in the Champions League. Former finalists. And, you know, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to them, because I think there'll be really good ties. I think it's going to be difficult to sort of predict at the moment who's going to go through, who's going to go out. I think Bayern beating Arsenal will probably happen. I do think PSG will knock out Barca, and Real Madrid hopefully will knock out Manchester City, but we'll see what happens. Thoughts on Alonso to Bayern in the summer? Well, that's just a rumour. I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if he did join. Bayern, because he's done really well with Bayer Leverkusen. So I think it would. I think he'd. To be honest, I don't see him leaving Leverkusen at all. If they win the league this season and they carry on the form, but I don't see him leaving. I don't think he'll leave them anyway. Because they got a chance of winning. They could win the treble this season. Actually, they could win the League Cup and the Europa League. So if he leaves Leverkusen, it'd be well. A lot of people say it wouldn't be surprised. It'd be a shame, because he's done so well with them. You know, you got to give credit to Xavi Alonso, because he's been a magnificent manager for them, and some of the players in that team. I mean, Jeremy Frimpong. I'll take it off because the draw's finished now. Jeremy Frimpong this season as a defender, by the way, has got he's in double figures now. Double figures for goals in the for Bayer Leverkusen this season. 8 in the Bundesliga, and I think 2 in. No, he's got. Yeah, sorry, no, I think he's on like 11 goals now, actually, he got himself. He's done really well, actually. Pavlovic, we're positive for Bayern. Well, Pavlovic has been a really good player, but we've got to remember that he's only young, so, I think putting him. Well, he's shown that he's good enough to go on the first team, but putting a young player like that in the first team, get week in, week out, especially in the Champions League as well, is pretty. Yeah. It's pretty pressurising, especially if you're playing in the Champions League. We all know how difficult the Champions League is these days to play in, so it's hard for the youngster, but I think he's been really, really good. I'd be more than happy to keep him in the starting team. More than happy, because I think he's good enough to be in the starting team. But can he keep it up, is the question. So, draw's been done. Up your nose. Champions League draw's been completed now. And we've got Bayern taking on Arsenal. They'll be at the Emirates Stadium first and then at the Allianz in the second leg. And the winner of that plays the winner of Real Madrid versus Man City. And I think Man City have got the second leg at the... I think Man City have got the second leg at the Etihad as well, so they'll probably go through. The other ties, though, Club Atletico de Madrid taking on Borussia Dortmund. That's going to be a good tie. I think that will really be a good tie. Atletico Madrid hosting the first leg and then Dortmund hosting the second leg. And the winner of that will be playing PSG or Barcelona. PSG at home. My dad doesn't care. It's not up to him anyway. PSG hosting the first tie, and then the second leg will be at Barcelona's Olympic ground. I hope they get to the new camp, back to the new camp sooner or later. Because although the Olympic Stadium's a nice stadium, it's not as good as the new camp, is it? So, if you are leaving us here, thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Everyone else, stay in the stream, and you can pop out and pop back in. We're going to go for a break. That's the end of the Champions League draw. I'm going to change the thumbnail and all that in a moment on the break. But we're going to go for a break now. We'll see you for the UEFA Europa League draw We'll see you for the UEFA Europa League draw at 12 o'clock.
Ground and Bubba.
Well, that was absolutely cocked.
The UEFA Europa League quarter-final draw is imminent, and today we find out who the 8 teams will be going up against in this draw. Liverpool advanced to the next round by winning 11-2 on aggregate against Sparta Prague. They're joined by Marseille, who won 5-3 on aggregate against Villarreal. Roma also joined them, They lost the second leg, I beg your pardon, at Brighton, but advanced 4-1 on aggregate. And then also we had Benfica knocking out Rangers in the end by 1 goal, 3-2 on aggregate. Freiburg losing 5-1 on aggregate against West Ham United. Atalanta winning just about 3-2 on aggregate against Sporting Lisbon. Milan winning 7-3 on aggregate against Slavia Prague, and Karabag losing last minute to Bayer Leverkusen. So, I know I didn't know where to put the bit. I couldn't work out where to put it. I could do that, I suppose. Could do that, but yeah, couldn't decide where to put it originally. So, but there you go. It is one of them things. I think have I got the same for the Conference League? Oh, well, I can't have it like that for the Conference League. Oh, well, I'll have to do a bit of moving around then. Anyways, the UEFA Europa League quarter-final is upon us. We have 8 teams left after what's been a really entertaining tournament. Saw some really good performances and some amazing games. Karabag Leverkusen scored in the 93rd minute to equal it at 4-4 in aggregate, but then scored in the 99th minute. Patrick Schick with 2 goals to send them through last moments of the game into another quarter-final. And they're doing well, keeping everyone beaten, one of course, extending to, I think, 36 games. Liverpool, though, well, I think they were always going to beat Sparta Prague, weren't they? I mean, they were 5-1 up in the first leg, so they probably could have played the youngsters, to be honest. And rested their main team for the game against Manchester United on Sunday. But they still won 11-2 on aggregate. Marseille's game against Villarreal, bloody hell, it was quite an entertaining game, actually, the Marseille game. They were 4-0 up from the first leg. Villarreal got it back to 4-3 on aggregate by leading 3-0. And then Marseille managed to snatch a goal from somewhere, so they won 5-3 in the end. Wolmer versus Brighton. Yeah, shame for Brighton, obviously. You know, I mean, they've had a good European one, no. But they've been knocked out to a really good side. They lost 4-0 in the first leg away to Wolmer at the Stadio Olimpico. Really poor in the end for them. They got battered and bruised, and then, you know, the game was practically all... The tie was practically over anyway as a contest, but Brighton still managed to win the home leg at least. So at least they made use of the home advantage. So they still got the win. I think the fans will be happy that they actually got a win in that second leg, and you know they didn't lose that leg as well. Benfica knocked out Rangers. Goal in the 66th minute from Rafa Silva. Unfortunately for Rangers, they are knocked out in the last 16. So Benfica qualifying for the quarter-finals. Now, they were the 2013 finalists who lost to Chelsea, if you all remember. Branislav Ivanovic's headed goal, literally on the last, I think it was literally like 91st minute or something, if you all remember it. It was something like the 91st, 92nd minute or something like that, the goal that won it for Chelsea against Brighton, against Benfica. And I'm pretty sure that was at the Johan Cruyff Arena back in 2013. West Ham United lost 1-0 at home away to Freiburg in the first leg. Made use of home advantage, battered them 5-0 in the end. They played really, really well in that second leg. I'll get to the comments in a minute. I'm just finishing off what I'm on about. Sporting Atalanta was a difficult game. A difficult game to call. In the end, Atalanta just advanced thanks to Skamaka's goal in the 59th minute, winning 2-1 in the end. In that second leg, it was enough to take them through 3-2. It was a game where whoever won qualified. AC Milan won 4-2. They won at home 4-2 against Slavia Prague. And in the second leg, won 3-1. That means they won 7-3 on aggregate. So AC Milan scoring a few goals. And then, of course, Leverkusen had to come from 2-0 down in the first leg. Scored last minute, Patrick Schick, to take a 2-2 draw back to the home game. And this time, they scored last minute to level it up at 2-2 from 2-0 down again. But they also scored in the 98th minute to send them through to avoid extra time. So I'll tell you what, some really entertaining ties. So, the 8 teams then in this draw then, we have got Liverpool, Marseille, Roma, Benfica, West Ham, Atalanta, AC Milan and Leverkusen. So we'll find out who plays who very, very shortly. If you have just tuned in, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. A few people joined us during the break, of course, as well. Fawaz Khan, thanks so much for joining us. Also, Paul Folwell Blue Nose, thanks so much for joining, Paul. And let's have a look at the other comments. And Elboy Hakim has just tuned in as well. I wouldn't like to guess where he's from, but it sounds like a Turkish name to me. It probably isn't, but that's probably just me. What's all this about Hoyle needing cash? What's he doing? I'm not taking any notice, really. He's apparently doing a protest outside Wickham's ground. If you ask me, it's pathetic. There you go. So tough. Dad's not getting. No one's getting involved. Anyone who gets involved, I think he's just attention seeking. To be honest with you, again, it'll be attention seeking again. No. Yeah, he's. Well done. Yeah, I think looks like he's attention seeking again. That's what noise we've got. Roma West Ham. Ooh. I mean, that would be some tie. But I reckon if West Ham had the second leg at home, same at Brighton, I reckon West Ham would still advance. West Ham at the moment at home in the Europa League are becoming the team to beat. They're a difficult side to get a result against at the moment. They are playing really, really well. So the draw's going to get started very soon, ladies and gentlemen. And just let you know that, of course, unlike the round of 16s, there is no restrictions. It is a free draw, so you can get anyone. So Liverpool could get West Ham. There's no rules with regards to playing from the same nation. That doesn't happen in the quarterfinals. It's only in round of 16. It's only round of 16 and the other rounds before where you're not allowed to play someone from the same nation or the same group stage, etc. So the teams to be drawn, of course: Atalanta BC of Italia, Bayern 04 Leverkusen of Germany, SO Benfica of Portugal, Liverpool of England, AC Milan of Italy, Olympique de Marseille of France, West Ham United as well of England, and of course AS Roma. 3 Italian teams, 2 English teams, a German side, etc. All in this draw. Let's see what happens here. No, I wouldn't take any notice, to be honest. And the first team out, the draws got underway now. And the first team, AC Milan, former Champions League champions as well back in the day. And also one of the top sides, one of the top Italian sides. Italian Giants have won the league quite a few times. I think it's Fernando Llorente. Is that Llorente doing it? Yes. We do have an all-Italian clash, and I tell you what, this will be a really good tie. The first tie in the Europa League quarter-final draw sees an all-Italian clash. It's AC Milan versus AS Roma. And my word, that will be a great tie. That's going to be a very good tie. I did say that can happen. Could have English teams against each other, Italian teams against each other. So Milan get warmer. Liverpool are at home in the first leg, which probably doesn't favour Liverpool. Liverpool will want the away side. They'll want the away tie first. Roma, AC Milan. Who are Liverpool then going to get? I bet they'll get. They'll probably get the easier tie, but I don't know if there is an easy tie really. I suppose maybe. I don't know if it's the easier tie actually. Atalanta. That's not straightforward. It's not easy. People will say it's the easiest tie, but it's not. It's not really an easy tie because Atalanta are more than capable of getting results, especially at home. I mean, at home they've only lost. Obviously, they lost to Bologna, but other than that, they have a really good record at home, Atalanta. So that won't be easy in that second leg. Liverpool have to make use of the home advantage in the first leg, and then hopefully for them, well, they'll be open. Not for me. I don't want them to win it, but they'll be open that they make use of the home advantage and then do well in the second leg. Yes, I do. Hoover the room. Ooh! West Ham United are against Bayer Leverkusen. And I tell you what, both teams at home are really good in Europe. But also Leverkusen are good away from home as well. They are unbeaten in like 36 games. I reckon West Ham will beat them in that second leg. But we'll see what happens. That's going to be a good tie. And that means the final tie is going to be SL Benfica. I mean, you would probably think West Ham will lose, but West Ham are a good side. That does mean that Benfica will be taking on the French giants Olympique de Marseille. So, Olympique de Marseille, yep. Yeah. Okay, wow. Good ties. Some good ties. Now, excuse me a second. Okay, as we were. So, that's the quarterfinals. So we have... so Benfica Olympique de Marseille was the one that was just drawn there by Leverkusen against West Ham, Liverpool against Atalanta, and an all-Italian clash between Milan and Roma. I was just doing something. So the winner of quarterfinal 4 will host the first tie. Winner of quarterfinal 4 then will be hosting the first semi-final. That is Benfica or Marseille, and the winner takes on the winner of quarterfinal 2, which is Liverpool Atalanta. So Benfica or Marseille for Liverpool if they get to the semis. Not easy ties on paper, to be honest. Some good teams. Yeah. Disappointed with the Champions League draw, but every year the final ends up being one of the worst 4 versus one of the best 4. I don't know. I don't know about that because I don't think there's any teams on paper that you can say are... there isn't really any bad teams in the Champions League draw. They're all good sides. You know, they all deserve to be in there. That means that the winner of quarterfinal number 1, which is AC Milan or Roma, will be playing West Ham or Leverkusen. Tell you what, there's some hard ties. Some very difficult ties there. Can Newcastle qualify for this cup? Yes, if they can get at least top 5. By West Ham, I don't see them beating Leverkusen. Hey, I'd love it if they did, but I think Leverkusen will go. I think Leverkusen will actually win the tournament, I reckon. So, the road to Dublin then. Now, so we've got Dublin and London. I don't know where the conference is getting held. Interesting draws. But I don't know. To be fair with you, Tom, I mean, I don't think there's any teams in that Champions League draw that really you could say the worst teams. I suppose if you're looking at the club rankings, obviously Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern, Manchester City, Bayern, and Real Madrid are in the top, probably top 5. Arsenal, I wouldn't say are up there, because Arsenal aren't. I mean, Arsenal are decent at the minute, but they're not. I don't think they're in the top 10 at all with regard to the club rankings. And then you've got PSG, Barcelona, who are also top teams up there. You know, and I mean, it's hard to say. I reckon either way we'll have some good quarterfinals, good semi-finals, and I reckon we'll have a good final on paper. I mean, I reckon it'll be PSG versus Real Madrid final, if I'm being truthfully honest. We'll see what happens. And as the Europa League draw completed, it'll be on to the... they did that quickly, didn't they? Yeah, that's the doorbell. We got the Europa Conference League coming up at 1 o'clock. So, let's have a look at that then. So, the draw in full then, for anyone who did just miss it. West Ham United, who demolished SC Freiburg in the end. They are going to be taking on Bayer 04 Leverkusen. So another German side for them. Liverpool taking on Atalanta. They've got the home tie first, Liverpool. So that probably doesn't help them. I think they'll have wanted the home tie last, as they normally do better if they're at home last. Atalanta are a decent side, especially at home, I beg your pardon. 2 good sides at home. I think both teams will probably win the home games. I wouldn't be shocked if that ended up going to extra time, or if Atalanta even managed to scrape past them. I hope to do, but I think Liverpool might scrape through. Benfica, Olympique de Marseille, difficult one to call. 2 really, really good sides at the moment. Benfica just scraping through, and I thought they played decent against Rangers as well. So they just about scraped through in the end. And as for Marseille, well, they demolished Villarreal in that first leg 4-0, and the damage was done in the first leg, wasn't it? Really. Famous man will take scissors to it when DJ turns up the door. If someone got some scissors, they could cut the wire and it'd be bye-bye doorbell. It wouldn't make a difference. It's only battery powered. It's battery powered anyway, so it's not like it's gonna cause a massive. It's not going to cause a massive problem, is it? Really? The only reason the wire is because the actual button you press for the doorbell is actually on the outside of my door. So it's not like it's not going to mess up any electrics or anything if that happened. So, Anyways, missed some comments. Yeah, because I was busy focusing on something else. That's why. Where were we then? If you have just tuned in, draws been done in full. I'm just going through them now for you all. What who have you got? I don't know what make it is. I don't tend to look at that. One that works is all I'll say. So Newcastle can qualify for the cup if they finish 5th. Thinking of uploading my Norwich programmes on here. A thumbnail's easy to do. Could say that. Yeah, obviously we all use Photoshop at a minute. No, he's not. No. Love the washer on your fingers. Washer? It's a bloody ring. It's a ring. Not a washer. Anyways, God, washer. I don't know, I ask you. So, if you have just tuned in, the draw has finished just now for the UEFA Europa League. Liverpool got Atalanta, which is not an easy tie by any stretch of the imagination. Atalanta are a decent side. Benfica taking on Olympic Marseille, tough one. Milan taking on Roma, in an all-Italian clash. That'll be good. And Leverkusen taking on West Ham United. That's going to be a difficult tie. I think my money is probably on Liverpool playing against Olympic Marseille, because I think Olympic Marseille will get past Benfica. And then I'm also going to go with AC Milan to knock out Roma to play Bayer Leverkusen. And I reckon we'll have Bayer Leverkusen in the final, probably against Liverpool. And I hope Leverkusen do win it. I mean, Leverkusen do win it, it would be magnificent. They've been superb. They do fully deserve it. They've been magnificent this season in general, I think. So we'll see how it goes. Liverpool or Atalanta played Benfica or Marseille in the semi-finals. Milan or Roma take on Bayer Leverkusen or West Ham. If West Ham went on to win it, then bloody hell, fair enough. I mean, it's anyone's for the taking. It really is anyone's for the taking, the UEFA Europa League, so we'll see what happens. But good ties. And a reminder for those who missed the Champions League draw. That draw was Arsenal taking on FC Bayern, Atletico Madrid taking on Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid taking on Manchester City, and PSG taking on FC Barcelona. So those were the ties in the Champions League. And also the semi-final ties, Arsenal or Bayern taking on Real Madrid Man City, and Atletico Madrid or Dortmund taking on PSG or Barcelona. The UEFA Conference League draw will be taking place at from 1 o'clock today, and these are the teams that are in the draw. Victoria Pilsen went through on penalties against Servette. Aston Villa demolished Ajax in the second leg, 4-0. Club Brugge qualified. They won 4-2 on aggregate against Molde. Fenerbahce lost the second leg 1-0 against Union Saint-Gilloise, but they won 3-1 on aggregate. PAOK won 5-3 on aggregate against Dinamo Zagreb. They won the second leg 5-1. Sturm Graz drew 1-1 with Lille in the second leg, but because Lille were 3-0 up already, that meant that Lille had progressed to the next round 4-1 on aggregate. And also Fiorentina won just about 5-4 on aggregate against Maccabi Haifa. Did really well, and Maccabi Tel Aviv had done magnificently in this tournament. Unfortunately for them, they got knocked out by 7 goals to 5 on aggregate. That went to penalties. That went to extra time, beg your pardon, in the end. But that was a cracking tie. So they're all the teams that are playing in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinal draw comes up at 1 o'clock. Do we get Q&A between now and the next draw? No. So we go for a break until the next draw. That's what happens. That's all part of the schedule. They're just showing they're just showing the highlights from all the European finals last season, which of course Sevilla won, City won, and West Ham won at the moment. So the draw for the next tournament, which is of course the Europa Conference League, that takes place at 1 o'clock. So if you are leaving us here, thank you very much for tuning in. Everyone else though, do stay tuned because we've got the UEFA Conference League coming up next, and I will move myself. I'll just move myself to the other side. There we go. And I'll be back with you for the UEFA Conference League draw at 1 o'clock.
roles we used. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go?
homes fall apart. Solar flares arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive. The world as we know it will no longer be there. Water is gone. A new era has begun. Prepare yourself for the apocalypse. The apocalypse. The heat is scorching. Forests burned up. The sky colors red. Volcanoes erupt. The world as we know it will no longer be there. Water is gone. A new era has begun. Prepare yourself for the apocalypse. Prepare yourself for the apocalypse.
City Ground, and
Well,
Borough.
that was absolutely can't.
Good afternoon, Darryl Johnson here with you for the Uefa Europa Conference League quarter-final draw. And before Scotty does say it, yes, my door is open because I forgot to close it properly. Darryl Johnson here with you for the draw. 8 teams remain in the Uefa Conference League. We saw some really good ties. Let's see what happens here. If you did miss it, by the way, of course, the Europa League draw was just done before we went on to our break there. And I will give you a recap of that draw, of course. Oh, 1 minute late, it's unacceptable. Shut up. Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. Ugh, does it matter? Oh, 1 minute late. Yes. Right. I sound like an angry old man saying it. Only 1 minute late. Anyway, who cares? I'm on the camera now, so that's all you need to worry about. Okay, if anyone who's in this room onto the stream, if you just joined us for the first time, welcome. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Welcome to those who joined during the break as well. There's quite a lot of you. I couldn't care less about all that. Who was it that joined us? We had Darius Saleh Petru from, that looks like Romania, saying, here we go. Buna Ziva. That's what, I think that's good afternoon in, wait, is it Buna Ziva or is it Buna Diminata? Buna Ziva. Because I think Buna Diminata is good morning in Romanian. I don't know Romanian, to be honest. Messi in the chat. It was not exactly Messi, but there you go. He's just put, I don't understand what that says. Can I translate that to English? Oh. Right, okay. Doesn't say anything. Liverpool fan in the chat. Bonkers LFC as well. Join the stream. Thanks so much. Okie dokie. Okay, everyone. 8 teams left in the competition. West Ham United, of course, were the champions last year. Fiorentina are into the quarterfinals, looking to get to the final this year after losing it last year. They'd be their second final on the bounce. In the draw today, we have got one English side to tell you about, and that is Aston Villa, and everyone will be keeping an eye on them. They knocked out AFC Ajax by 4-0 in that second leg. We'll see what happens here. Aston Villa 4-0 up in that game in the second leg. And it didn't help by the fact that Ajax went down to 10 men. Zivert Mansverk got sent off for second yellow card. Ollie Watkins, Leon Bailey, Jovan and Moussa Diaby getting the job done in pretty brilliant style for Aston Villa. Ajax only had 2 shots in that game, by the way. They were terrible. Victoria Pilsen knocked out Servette on penalties as well yesterday night, with Servette missing 3 out of the 4 penalties and won 3-1 in the end. Victoria Pilsen in that game. Very close game. 0-0 in the first leg, and it was 0-0 in the second leg. They won on penalties in the end. Molde versus Club Brugge. Now this was a good tie. Molde were 2-1 up from the first leg. They went over to Bruges and lost 3-0. And 2 goals from Skov Olsen. Battling Bruges, Skovin. Oh, God. Right. So Club Brugge advanced 4-2 on aggregate in the end. Union Saint-Gilloise beat Fenerbahce in the second leg, only by 0-0, which was not good enough, unfortunately, because they lost 3-1 in the end on aggregate because of that terrible first leg. And also for PAOK, well, they were 2-0 down against Dinamo Zagreb in that first leg, but they turned it around and won 5-1 at home in the second leg. Sturm Graz drew 1-1 at home against Lille. Lille did win 4-1 on aggregate in the end. And Maccabi Haifa versus Fiorentina. Well, that was a good tie, wasn't it? 4-3 Fiorentina in that first leg, and it was 1-1 in the end in the second leg. Fiorentina just about managing to scrape through to the next round and looking to make it 2 Conference League finals on the bounce. They got to the final last year, lost to West Ham United. That kid said he'd go into your charity shop and nick something. Oh, don't even talk about the charity shop. I'm not recording in there, and that's finals. So if you don't like it, tough. Olympiacos got took to extra time by Maccabi Tel Aviv. They won 4-1. Maccabi Tel Aviv won 4-1 in Piraeus, which was a massive shock. It was a brilliant result for Maccabi Tel Aviv. They've done well, actually, but they lost 6-1 after extra time in the end, which meant that they lost 5-7 in the on the aggregate score. A hat-trick for El Kabi, a goal from Daniel Podence, who used to play for Wolverhampton Wanderers, you'll remember. A goal for Tunis, Stefan Jovetic as well. Bloody hell, he's still playing, is he? Oh dear. But yeah, they ended up going to extra time in that game and ended up being 6-1 in the end. Well, no, you don't. No one records in the shop. Anyone who records in the shop will get kicked out. Simple as that. You don't. Recording next sector is not allowed anyway, and anyway, you'd get caught if you did that because we got CCTV, and the manager's always looking at the CCTV. So there you go. So you wouldn't get away with it. Let's carry on. So 8 teams looking forward to seeing who actually gets who in these ties. Actually, be a difficult one. Be a difficult one to call actually this year. Fiorentina looking to get to the final again. Obviously they'll be looking to hopefully go one better this time and actually win it. Aston Villa looking to get themselves to I think their first European final since like the 1980s. Back in the 1980s when they actually were European champions. Victoria Pilsen of Czech Republic did well to overcome Servette in the end. Club Brugge in there, former Champions League side, Fenerbahce. A decent side, especially at home. Yeah, but I wouldn't be keeping hold of the vlog anyway. I'd be telling them where to go. Lille as well, very strong opposition. Olympiacos, that was some tie, wasn't it? 7-5. But Olympiacos are a decent side. But I reckon if they come up against a team like Aston Villa, you can say bye-bye. I think Aston Villa at the minute are the team to beat. Aston Villa look really, really good. So everyone really, other than Olympiacos and PAOK, are from different leagues. So we could have an all-Greek clash between PAOK and Olympiacos. We don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens anyway. Let's have a look and see what happens in this draw. The draw is just starting now for us all. And best of luck to all the teams in this draw. And after this draw is done, of course, I'll be giving you a run through of the Champions League and Europa League draws for those who missed it earlier on. I've got no idea. Club Brugge. Turn that down. Club Brugge, first team out of the pot. From the Belgian Pro League, of course. See who they'll be facing in the quarterfinals. Club Brugge were former Champions League side. And now they're in the Conference League. Dear me. How times have changed, eh? Times have changed, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Club Brugge will be taking on PAOK. I don't give out me bloody. I don't give out me hours on YouTube, mate. Because you don't know who's bloody watching these days. Okay. So Club Brugge taking on PAOK. That's the first quarter-final. Why are they in suits? They always are. They're always in suits. They're always in suits. So Olympiacos were the next team out of the pot. Who's Olympiacos playing? Olympiacos against Fenerbahce. Yeah, but why? Because the UEFA representatives. You can't have people representing the UEFA draw live on telly and not wearing the uniform or anything. Greek v Turkish derby, that'd be tasty. Oh yeah, they're literally next door to each other, aren't they? So it's the return of the holiday destination derby. Aston Villa, or as I like to call them, the ice cream club. Aston Vanilla. Aston Villa will be quarter-final number 3, and that's Aston Villa taking on 1982 it was when they were European champions. I did say it was the 80s, couldn't remember exactly. Oh, they have a tough one. That's a tough tie, that is, I think, for Villa. Probably one of the tougher ties. Aston Villa have got LOSC Lille, or LOSC Lille. So Lille taking on Villa. First leg, is at Villa Park. So it's probably better for Lille that they're away first. That's a tough tie to call. It'd be a good tie though. And FC Victoria Plzeň of the Czech Republic. The other team out. He was a dick. The final team, which will be taking on Victoria Plzeň, is, I think, Fiorentina. It is. So Fiorentina, last year's finalists, will be taking on Victoria Plzeň. They could potentially have the easier tie. Victoria Plzeň of Czech Republic taking on the Italian giants Fiorentina. No, that's interesting. Very interesting. So Club Brugge taking on PAOK. Olympiacos taking on Fenerbahce in, as Thomas said, the Greek versus Turkish derby. That should be interesting. Aston Villa take on Lille. So trip to France for the Villa fans in the second leg. Probably. And Victoria Plzeň of the Czech Republic take on Fiorentina. So some interesting ties there. And we're going to find out what the semi-final pairing is going to be now. So this is where you have quarter-final 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the same pot. So winner of quarter-final 3 will be the host team for the first leg of the semi-finals. And quarter-final 3 is no other than Aston Villa versus Lille. So if Aston Villa do get through, they host the first leg of the semi-final as well as the first leg in the quarter-finals. Yeah, it's stupid, mate, isn't it, really? Battle of the Kebabs. And, ooh, hello. So Aston Villa or Lille play Olympiacos or Fenerbahce. Now, I think realistically, if Aston Villa get past Lille, I reckon they're into the final. And that's no disrespect at all to Olympiacos and Fenerbahce, because they're both reasonably good sides. But I think realistically, Aston Villa, at the moment, people might disagree, but I think at the minute Aston Villa have just far too much in the locker at the moment, especially in Europe. I mean, they absolutely demolished Ajax, didn't they, in the end, in that 4-0 thumping. And I reckon if they do beat Lille, which I think they might beat Lille, but I think if they do that, then, I think they will get to the final. I'm going to say it now, Aston Villa win the Europa Conference League. I've said it. Aston Villa will win the Europa Conference, and Bayer Leverkusen will win the Europa League. The Champions League, probably Real Madrid. There's my predictions anyway. Which means Victoria Plzeň and Fiorentina, whoever wins that tie, will be the host for the first leg of the semi-finals. They take on Club Brugge or PAOK. So, some tasty ones there. I think the Greek Turkish derby, which is what Tom called it, that's going to be very tasty, isn't it? That's going to be that'll be there'll be pretty hostile atmospheres, I reckon, in both of them games. It'll be pretty hostile. There'll probably be a lot of flares. You know, there'll be trouble. I can guarantee there'll be trouble in that game. But should be entertaining. That the Aston Villa game against Lille, good tie. Really good tie. I think it's a difficult one though. It's a more difficult tie probably for Aston Villa. I do think though that Aston Villa can overcome it. I'm going to have a look actually at the odds while we're here. So the draw's been done now. I'm just going to have a look at the odds actually for who's favourites to actually win these competitions. UEFA competitions. Have a look. So who's favourite to win the Europa League? Liverpool are favourite to win the Europa League at evens. Bayer Leverkusen 7-2. Milan 6-1. West Ham 14-1. They could be up there. Champions League odds. Man City, I think, are favourites because they were obviously the champions last season. 15-8. Arsenal are second favourites. Okay. That won't be the end of it. Real Madrid 6-1. Bayern 7-1. Arsenal, by the way, second favourites at 5-1. I forgot to mention. And then PSG 8-1. Borussia Dortmund 25-1. So there you go. Let's have a look. What are you doing after this, mate? I have no idea. Probably not much. Probably be sorting my room out and then I don't know. Just probably take it easy for the rest of the day. Doesn't get up till 10 o'clock. Not reading the chat. I do read the chat, and then if I'm trying to talk about something in particular, then I don't tend to look at the chat until after I've read it. That's why. Till after I've said what I need to reach the final. I would buy. Right, Bayern are. So for some reason, Bet365 has got a Man City Arsenal final. That's not going to happen because if Arsenal do get past Bayern, they have to play City or Real Madrid. That won't happen in a million years. Who's favourite for Euro 20? England are favourite for Euro 24. Right, no, that won't happen. For some reason, I can't find the odds for the UEFA conference for some daft reason, but oh well, whatever. Never mind. So that's the draws. That's all the draws done in total then. We have got in the Champions League, for anyone who did miss it, Arsenal drawn against FC Bayern, and the winner of that tie will be taking on Real Madrid or Manchester City. And then the other ties, we had it was Atletico Madrid taking on Borussia Dortmund, with the winner of that playing host in the first leg to Paris Saint-Germain or Barcelona. And then in the UEFA Europa League, we have got Liverpool taking on Atalanta. Let me just find it again. Oh, I've lost it now. Right. We have got Benfica versus Marseille, and the winner takes on Liverpool or Atalanta. And then we got AC Milan, I beg your pardon, wrong one. AC Milan taking on Roma, and Leverkusen taking on West Ham. The winner of those two games go head to head in the semis. So, difficult ties. And then obviously this one we've got a bit of Aston Villa taking on Lille. That's a tough tie for Villa, by the way, but a good tie though. We've got Victoria Pilsen taking on Fiorentina. Realistically, Fiorentina should advance there. That's no disrespect at all. But on paper, Fiorentina will be massive favourites. Olympiacos taking on Fenerbahce. I think that's anyone's game, that one. That's a tough one. And then Club Brugge against PAOK. Realistically, you'd see Club Brugge probably advancing, but don't underestimate PAOK. They're a good side. And the semi-finals see Aston Villa or Lille taking on Olympiacos or Fenerbahce. And the other one sees Fiorentina, if they beat Victoria Pilsen, taking on Club Brugge or PAOK. So that's all the draws in total. So, good stream actually. Enjoyed that. Hope you did as well. I don't think there's anything else worthy to talk about, unless you want to talk about the other draws. Then by all means, if England win the Euros, Dazzer has to have a shot of something. Yeah, I'll have a shot of Iron Brute, mate. That's what I'll have. No, I just don't see England winning it. I can see England. I need to move the room anyway today. I can see. What are you cleaning there? Not be hoovering the floor and stuff. That's all. Man, he's moving things out of the way and hoovering it. Reality is, I just don't see England doing it. What I do see is England getting past the group stage at least. We've got Serbia. Serbia's not going to be straightforward though, but I think realistically we will just have maybe too much for them. Denmark, well, we beat them in the semis last year, didn't we? Last time out. And with regards to Slovenia, realistically, we should win. So Serbia, Slovenia, and Denmark, I think we should win them, but wouldn't shock me if we didn't win one of them. We should advance to the knockout rounds anyway. As for the other ones, Germany, Switzerland, Scotland, Hungary. Germany have struggled, but I think Scotland will go out. Scotland will go out. I reckon if anyone's gone through, it would be Germany and Switzerland, probably. You'd expect Germany with them being a host. The playoffs we don't know about yet. If England do win it, then I'll be over the moon. I just don't know if England will do it. As for Germany, again, I don't see England or Germany doing it. So, being personally honest, I don't know who's going to win it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but we'll look forward to it. I'm going to disappear because I've got stuff to do. So from myself, thanks very much everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And from me, Darryl Johnson, bye!